Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. We've just had a delivery of a few parts to the office in the FYD HQ office that's inside a gym with no one in it. It's really creepy. Anyway, I love gyms, the atmosphere when like the lights and the music's on, but there's nothing at the moment. Anyway, we just had a quick delivery of a few bits I need to take down to Ian, so I thought I'd show you guys what's going on with the 106, a few bits for the RAM that we need to service it, and a few other various things that's down Ian's workshop. We've got a really cool car to show you guys, but what I've got today is something that I actually initially lost for the 106, which was the physical fuse box with no fuses in it, but I actually lost this. I don't know how, but in transition I lost that. So we've got a, you know, not a brand new one, but it is in very, very good condition. I will shout out the guys that sent me this, put their at just here. Shout out to those guys, absolute legends. If you need any 106 bits, they're the guys to go to. I've just got all this from Rock Auto in America as well for the Dodge. Because the Dodge has not a lot of service history behind it, it's definitely been serviced. We've checked that. I've got part numbers and stuff from previous services, but there's no stamps in a book and all that sort of stuff. So the first thing I really want to do to that thing is service it and make sure that it's serviced properly for the year we're going to own this truck. Now we've got some Champion spark plugs. These are the ones for the Dodge, the Hemi 5.7 litre V8. The funny thing is, if you guys didn't know, and I only knew this just before I bought them, they actually run 2 spark plugs per cylinder. So yeah, we've got a lot of spark plugs there. Funnily enough, these are about 90p each from America, so good times there. I thought we really were getting into an expensive buy there just on the spark plugs, but shout out to Rock Auto for sending those down, and again, very, very cheap. We've got a plug for the bottom of the sump, just to put a new one in there, oil filter, and I've got a coil pack. Now I fear that the car is missing a little bit when it goes into eco mode. So the Dodge Ram engines in that generation actually shut down half of the V8 engine, so it runs just 4 cylinders to up the petrol mileage and all that sort of stuff. But I fear when it goes into that eco mode, it's actually running on 3 cylinders and it judders a little bit. Now we did a diagnostics check a couple of days ago and we found that one of the coil packs was just running a little bit funny. We're going to replace that and see if it's that. If not, I'll delve into it a little bit more. But let's get all this in the truck, head down to Ian. RAM boxes on the side of this. Oh, let's make sure I shut it properly. Just like a boot. Do you know what? We'll get a quick, it's not necessarily a cold start because I've already driven it today, but remote start. This generation RAM from the factory came with remote start on the key fob as a factory option or a factory equipped thing from the key. So especially this morning, it was actually really, really cold. And as you start the car, you know, from your kitchen, if you really wanted to, you can double tap it, start it, it locks the car, so you obviously can't get it and drive away, but it also puts all of the heating, the heated seats and the heated steering wheel on, so when you get in the car, it's nice and warm. Probably one of the sickest things about this that you guys need to know, because dailying car like this, that's a serious perk right there. Also, as you can actually see, we do have an engine light on. I do think that's down to a faulty core pack or just a dirty core pack, something like that, but we'll assess that later. But onwards, let's get on the road to get down to Ian. Now, have a nose around his workshop as well. There's some really, really nice gear down there today. Right, we've made it down to Ian at the works. The car is really dirty. I'm so sorry to everybody that's already commented. I literally like jet washed this and made it really nice about 4 days ago now, and because I've been driving it and it rained, it's dirty. Now you're gonna wonder why the 106 is out here. We're actually waiting for the inside cam cover bit on the engine, like I said last time in the 106 update, but basically we tried to get that as quickly as possible, but the slot for this being on the ramp has sort of moved, so we pulled it outside for a minute for a very good reason. But updates coming on that very, very soon. Once that that bit of plastic gets here, we can actually put the engine in the car. But this video isn't about the 106, but I thought I'd just hit on the idea that this is out here for a very good reason, because as we come inside, Ian is in here doing some bits to a car that's actually been on the channel. Oh, how long ago was this on the channel? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
18 months, 2 years ago.
Yeah, at least 2 years ago. So this, it doesn't look like what it is, but this is a RS4 B5. Right, this was on the channel. Say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe at a push. Yeah. It was on 170,000 miles, which is high mileage apparently. What's it on now?
210.
210,000 miles this is on. This isn't a rebuild, by the way. This is just general maintenance that's happening right now.
So the front panel comes off as a service mode, so the whole front end comes off the car, so you're able to get to all the bits and pieces.
Cam belt, water pump, everything. That's why everything has been sort of taken off the car front bumper here. I just don't remember this car in that way. Like, I remember driving it. This thing was what? 490 brake horsepower, this thing is.
Yeah.
From the, they are 2.7 twin turbo.
It's a 2.7 V6, twin turbocharged, 5 valve per cylinder engine, basically. This is the original RS4. The one that has shot up in price over the last couple of years, I'd say. But it now has 210,000 miles on it. It's not tired, it's not been destroyed, it's been enjoyed, as you can see by various Spa, Nürburgring. This has seen track days, it's seen daily driving, kids going to school and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, it's really, really cool to see it again, because I forgot how nice it was. A car with 210,000 miles on, or at least a performance car with 210,000 miles on, is always a bit of a skeptical thing, isn't it? From the factory, they were 380 horsepower.
380.
So yeah, it was like the first of the super estate cars, if you like.
Yeah.
This is where they sort of started.
Wasn't this the fastest car in the world at one point, or the fastest estate at least? I genuinely think there was a point where it was the fastest. Yeah. Fastest production estate four-door, something like that. Yeah. I'm sure someone in the comments can correct us, but this was on the channel, and now it's here, and you're pulling it apart and doing bits to it. Not for rebuild or anything, this is just servicing.
Yeah.
So yeah, 210,000 miles, and it's been running that power for the last...
I've known Carl, who owns the car, for a good 13
years.
So the last time I saw the car was when I had my workshop on the mainland. The alternator went on the car, and it came into me for that. These are quite a specialist car. You need to know your onions when you're working on these cars.
Yeah, because you've got to take the whole front apart just to get it done, innit?
I own quite a high-powered S4, which is how I met Carl, through different forums and clubs, track days and stuff. So he's like, who do I trust to have the car? Because obviously it is high mileage now. Things are slightly older on the car. You have to be a little bit more delicate with certain things. And without knowing your onions, there's certain things you have to be really delicate.
You could break very easily. You're not getting these parts randomly off eBay, are you?
The parts on them actually now, sort of 12 years on, are starting to diminish from the dealers. Like, it needs a radiator because the radiator is leaking. The dealers now no longer supply radiators for the car, and it is specific to the RS4.
Yeah, without question, the price of them going up as well.
Yeah.
These, when he bought this, it was a relatively new car in theory.
Yeah, I think he had it. It was a couple of years old, I think.
Yeah. When I remember shooting it, he said it was only like 3 or 4 years old when he bought it, or 5 years old at a push. So he's bought it at a point where, you know, they were new and they were the hottest thing. They've then come down in price and then gone straight back up.
Yeah.
And I remember shooting this and talking at the time about how much they were. I had another look the other day, and yeah, they've definitely disappeared in price.
You know, the RS4s had the big wide arches. Yeah. So they looked a little
just
bit
about
special.
see here.
It was quite subtle. So you could put up a set of lights, and a lot of people would look at it
wouldn't even know.
And think, oh, it's an 1800T or a 2.4. They did a 2.4 V6. You know,
and then
literally unleash 380 brake horsepower through one of the best quattro systems in the world.
Yeah.
Or four-wheel drive systems in the world.
With the manual box and just disappear. Yeah. I will point out, and we've just said about this, there's a dent in the wing. Yeah. That was there when I shot it, and there's probably some sentimental reason why that's still there.
That dent happened at Ace Cafe, and the car was sort of, when back in the day when we were sort of into the club scene, the forums and stuff, and doing meets,
It was well renowned for having the dent
in the side.
Cole's just never, you know,
He's gone,
it's just sort
it's
of
fine.
stayed there, yeah.
But this is a forever car for him. This isn't going tomorrow,
Yeah,
is
no,
it? It's been in his possession for the last 14 years and it's never going anywhere, I
He doesn't
don't
drive
think.
it quite as hard as he used to. He used to do a few track days. He used to go Nürburgring quite a lot in it. He's now got a Megane that he uses for the track days, which is a dedicated track car for him because of the cost of running these on track.
And the value, they've gone through the roof, and if you crash this, you ain't getting any panels for it, are you? It's really nice to see this again, and it makes me want one even more, and it winds me up because I drove this and was like, yeah, I'd have that all day long. Now seeing it again, I'm like, damn it, sell it all, I'll buy one.
So guys, it's actually the next day and I dropped the Dodge off with Ian to get it serviced, so we're going to go get that in a minute, but that'll be a separate video. But I'd just like to say thank you so much for your support on the channel at the moment and on FYD. I'm actually just finishing packaging some of your guys' orders. We actually had a release a couple of days ago, so head over to fydapparel.com, support the channel. It makes the world go round, the clothing brand. My favourite thing in the world is FYD as a brand.
As you can see, we've got the new release up here. This is all going out to you guys right now. We actually brought back the OG, very first Diamond Cross t-shirts in black and in red, and we do have the street racing hoodies in this steel grey, in military green, and in the black.
And we've also just had another batch of these made up because they sold out a couple of days ago, but they've just come back in. So head over to the website right now. Links are in the description to the fydapparel.com website. But thank you so much for watching, guys. See you all on the next one.